Should probably turn on some lights here. Lights. Okay. Lights, there we go. And hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. It is all waiting for you over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. Glad to have you all here. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Getting closer to the holidays, and we're also here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. And as always, we're going to start with the most important question possible. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Take your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. I just got off Utopia of the Seas today, which is not a countdown. And I'll be getting on Voyager of the Seas in a little less than 2 weeks. Really excited. My first time ever on Voyager. I've never been on that ship. So I get to check off a ship that I've never been on. Let me know in the chat, guys. What's a ship that you've never been on before? A Royal Caribbean ship. I mean, maybe there's many, but it's like, what's the one ship you'd want to go on that you haven't been on yet? That's probably a better question rather than, yeah. We had some super chats before the broadcast began. Bob Dickens. Bob thinks in super chat. Good evening, Matt. 2 more days till check-in, about 40 days till we leave. How soon will the activities start showing up on the app for my Radiance of the Seas cruise? Usually, Bob, thank you for the super chat. Usually it's only a couple days before the cruise begins. Like 5 days or so. Some stuff filters in a little earlier than that, but I don't think it's really worth checking until about 3 to 5 days early. Chris Stell, thank you for the super chat. Woohoo! After tonight, only 4 live chats till back-to-back on Indy. As always, thanks to Jen Green at MEI Travel and Matt for making all of our cruises more enjoyable. I love that. Thank you so much, man. That is fantastic. Brett Graham. Brett, thank you for the super chat. I understand you don't get double points when you upgrade to a suite via Royal Up, but you get double points when paying for an upgrade on a casino comp. Thanks for just being. Well, I try to be, to be or not to be, that is the cruise question. So do you get double points when paying for an upgrade? I believe you do. I believe you would, Brett. I've not tried this, but if you're going through the traditional upgrade process, no matter how you started off, I still think that would qualify. I'll let Craig Hart in the chat verify that. But my understanding would be yes. Brad Buck. Brad, thanks for the super chat. 103 days to Oasis. 1 week since Liberty, dude. The only thing worse than a really big countdown is a very small post-cruise count up, where you get off the ship. Like today, I got off at Utopia today, and it hasn't really set in that much, but like, I do like today. It was around lunchtime, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta make my own lunch. I can't just go down and have someone get it for me." Yeah, that'd be nice. Brian wants to know: has there been a 2026 group cruise announced yet? Not yet. Tomorrow we're going to announce it publicly. Royal Caribbean Blog insiders already know about it, but we'll let everybody else know later on. Glad to have everybody here. Lots of good friends in the chat. Sarah Varney from MEI Travel is here. I always like seeing Sarah Varney in here, not just because she's Connecticut, which I do, not just because she's a wonderful person, but also because it maybe means that I'm not being, she never yells at me, but whenever there's a spam problem, I'm the first one to know about it, and it's from Sarah. So I'm glad to see Sarah here, not yelling at me. Todd Weichman, what's going on? Welcome. Pascal is in the chat, one of our very helpful moderators. Valid Storm, thank you for the super chat. Here it is. Have you ever stayed in a virtual balcony? Was it worth it? I have. Virtual balconies are great rooms, but they're really a replacement for, or really an upgrade for a traditional inside room. You shouldn't look at it as a replacement for a true balcony experience. You're not going to confuse the two. If you go into it thinking, you know what, I love balcony cabins, but I'm going to go cheap and get a virtual balcony, you're going to be disappointed. I really believe that. I think you're going to come out of it not happy, because it's definitely not anything remotely resembling a balcony. It's simply a better inside cabin experience. Now, I have not done a virtual balcony in a long time, but I have done it in the past, and I thought it was a neat idea. My favorite thing about Valid Storm is you can wake up in the morning, there's a remote, you can turn it on without leaving your bed. You can see what's going on outside. Matt Olson, what do insiders need to do to get accepted into the Insiders Facebook group? You need to yell at me to do it, Matt. Can you do me a favor, Matt? Can you just send me an email, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com? So that way I'll say, I'll do it after the broadcast. I'll forget, especially since we just started. But send me an email, and I'll do it after the broadcast. I can add you in there. So I apologize for not getting you in there sooner, my friend. Amanda from MEI Travel is here. Welcome. Craig Hart in the chat. Hello, Craig. Ken Lesko is here as well. Becky Hamilton, Carolyn Coro is here. Don and Judy Goldstein are here. Welcome. Richard Ashley's here. Richard, good to see you here on YouTube, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jennifer Kelm from MEI Travel in the house. Love seeing that. Fantastic. Jared, where in Fort Lauderdale does Royal Caribbean leave from? Terminal 18 in Port Everglades. What ships have you not done? Voyager, Enchantment. And by the way, my next 2 cruises are on Voyager and Enchantment. Spectrum, Vision, Grandeur. That might be it. Wow, it's incredible. We used to have rattle off a bunch of ships, but that's really all that's left at this point. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's answer your cruise questions, guys. We're here to answer your questions. Talk Royal Caribbean. The floor is open. Becky Menken from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Becky. It is good to see you. Marina, it is good to see you as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Solo. Last live chat until my first time on an Oasis. Is their buffet on Oasis larger than a buffet on Navigator? No, it's actually the opposite. When Royal Caribbean first developed the Oasis class ships, like Oasis of the Seas, they purposely made the Windjammer smaller so that people would go somewhere else to the other restaurants they were developing. But that kind of backfired because people were like, no, we just like the Windjammer. So like on Wonder and Utopia, it's bigger again. But on Oasis, it's kind of on the smaller side. Helg Hallen, thank you for the super chat. Currently sailing on Grandeur to Aruba. Been a fun cruise so far. Awesome. Well, thank you for the very generous super chat. I wrote an article today about how you guys had a medevac Saturday, not yesterday, Saturday, in which a passenger was taken by helicopter off the ship. It actually happens a lot more often than you think. Actually, yeah, you were the medevac. It happens a lot more often than you think. People unfortunately get hurt. They have pre-existing conditions. Things happen, right? And it's actually a really good reminder, and this is what I wrote in the article, is that not only does this happen, but it's a good reminder that like travel insurance is worth the pretty penny that it comes with. Mark Van Canada in the house. Hello, Mark. Hope you are doing well. Warren Caesar in the house. Got lots of good friends here. I love that. Next question is from Two to End. Where to stay in and around Seattle on a budget for an Alaska cruise? I know the Edgewater Hotel is the hotel that Becky Menken from MEI Travel recommends, but Becky, being Becky, I am sure it's an 8-star hotel in which someone fluffs her pillow every 17 minutes exactly. So I'm not sure it's the cheapest hotel out there. So Becky, if you could you recommend a different hotel perhaps that is more budget friendly yet still a good find for Two to End over here? Joseph Helmy. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Who am I looking for? Joseph. I don't know why I said it like that. I think that was like, I don't know why I said it like that. I don't even have an excuse. Joseph. Boy, isn't it exciting when I... Oh, you actually said 2 different super chats. Okay, we'll get to you in a second, Joseph. Thank you. How do I become a Royal Caribbean Blog Insider subscriber? Stelly, go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/support. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/support. Thank you in advance. No, you never yell. You were very, very kind, Sarah. This is like a Mattism. When I say someone yells at me, it's more like they just sent me a nice email and alerted me to an issue. But you're a very nice person. You're from Connecticut. Connecticut people have the utmost respect and grace, might I say. And also, sometimes they are grace because they live in, that's the MEI age. You get it? It's a joke. Okay, anyway, we're going to move on right there. Let's see here. There is Grace from MEI Travel. Good to see you, Grace. Jonathan Gonzalez, thank you for the super chat. 25 days to Allure 329 till Wonder. Never use Adventure Ocean. Have a young one. What training qualifications do the nursery staff have? Think about safety and security. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. If you're talking about the nursery, like not Adventure Ocean, they have to be certified. They have to have a degree in young childhood education, and I believe there's a certain number of certain experience. I don't know if it's certain hours. This is a really bad answer, but I'm telling you this. This is what I've been told: is that not only have to have a degree in younger child education, but they also need to have a certain amount of experience hours in childcare there. I can tell you this, Jonathan. I have both my kids, when they were of the age to go to the nursery, went to the nursery. I never once had any qualms or worries about the staff or the care they gave there. They were fantastic, really, really good. So I would definitely recommend them quite a bit. Denny Den, opinions on Utopia. I loved it. I had a great time. We missed CocoCay yesterday, unfortunately. That's not the captain's fault. It's not Royal Caribbean's fault. It's just bad weather. But we had a great time. Ship is fantastic. Events were great. The Mason Jar Bar with Brian James and Jeff and Josh, who are the country trio, like, sign me up for that every day of the week because I was there every day of the cruise. It was that good. Oh, we answered that one already from Jonathan. Josh Carruthers from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Josh. Josh's crew representing. All right, here, Joseph. Here's your super chat. Thank you again for your super chat. Appreciate you watching from Liberty of the Seas. Thanks for all your with some. Okay, I did. There's obviously a typo there. I did end up buying the key, but it was only $2 more than I think Wi-Fi, and I'm a solo cruiser. Listen, man. At the end of the day, if you like the key, if it works for you, more power to you. I applaud you. I would never sit here and tell anybody, well, I tell you all you shouldn't book something, but I also would not sit here in judgment of you by saying, how dare you? I think that's silly. There are people, let me make this not about myself, about somebody else. We'll post articles. One of the things we do here at Royal Caribbean Blog is we try different cabins. I was on Serenade of the Seas 2 weeks ago, and I was in an inside cabin. I was just on Utopia. We were in a suite. So we try to mix it up, balconies, like the whole because there's a lot of different cabins out there. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing all this up, Joe, is like the amount of people who have this like sense of judgment, disdain, and holier than thou attitudes. Like, how dare you not do it, cruise exactly the way that I cruise? And it's like, what? Really? Like, come on, man. Like, I get it. Maybe it's not your style or the way that you roll. That's okay. But it's not. Not everyone has to do it exactly the same way. And not everyone's dumb for not doing it the way that you do it or would do it. Sorry, you got me off on a tangent over there. Stelly, thank you for the super chat. 6 more days till Christmas cruise on Wonder. I always have the ultimate dining. I eat at Playmakers and order more than $20 worth, but always zero balance. Is that normal? No, this is a case of Royal Caribbean's policy being a little like, I mean, basically what I'm guessing is happening here. So I don't know this for a fact. I've experienced something similar to this in the past as well. Sometimes the crew members kind of have a discretionary, like, I don't say they fudge the numbers, but they might like, well, all right. Also, don't forget, Stelly. I don't know if you're there solo, but you can also pool funds. So as an example, when I go to Izumi with my wife and we go to the sushi side, I eat way more than she does. She never hits that $40 or $35, whatever it is, maximum. So we can pool the dollars together. But if you're within like reason, like $1 or $2 or something like that, it's fine. I think if you went in there still and you ordered $100 worth of food, I'm going to guess they're going to charge you for it. But this is like the classic Royal Caribbean inconsistent policy, because the problem is it's great when it comes in your favor, right? But then you go there and then you are charged for it by a crew member. It's not their fault. It's just silly that it wasn't instituted in the first place. But yeah, no, it's not you. It's just the way they operate, quite frankly. Joseph, does Royal Caribbean offer crabs or pack and plays? They do, yes. You need to book it before the cruise. So you need to put on your reservation to request one. When my kids were at that age, we always did that. Really important to do that. You can still get it on board. The reason why you want to do it before the cruise is so that it's waiting in your cabin. I remember many times when the rooms were open and we got to the cabin on embarkation day, like we wanted to put our girls down for a nap immediately. So having it there was super helpful. Andrew Brennan. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. How many Royal Caribbean ships have unisex public restrooms? I have no idea. I don't think that figure's out there. Literally, you would have to count it for you. There's very few of them. Most of them tend to be not so much unisex, but family restrooms. These are restrooms. You have the men's room, you have the women's room, then you have a family room. And it's really meant for parents with young children, maybe somebody in a wheelchair. Also, sometimes the handicap accessible one tends to be that as well. It's just more like if you need more space, this is your restroom. But I really have no idea. There's not many, I'll tell you that much, but I don't know what the number is. Thank you for the super chat. Slew Dog, what's going on, man? Welcome. Tony Chiaffe's here. We got lots of great friends in the chat. What are the temperatures like in the Caribbean right now? It was warm. We were in Nassau, which is not that deep into the Caribbean by any means, and it was definitely shorts weather. So yeah. Next question is from Joe Addison. Joe, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, 32 days to Utopia again. It was great meeting you on the Mason Jar this weekend, along with my girlfriend, Angela. Second time on Utopia. What would you do? First of all, pleasure meeting you and Angela as well. Listen, number one, I would also go to the Mason Jar. I mean, you saw the Mason Jar is amazing. I would still do that every night. Obviously, I don't know exactly what you did during the daytime, but a couple things probably. I think the Aqua 80 show, if you didn't see that, I mean, we love Brian James and all that, but that's definitely worth seeing. I think if you're going to do the Utopia, the View Bar, that's easily overlooked. It's an outdoor bar. It's not in the solarium. It's near the solarium, right in the front. Great spot. Izumi Hibachi, that's a great dinner out kind of experience there. Hopefully you go to CocoCay. That would be a plus as well. So a couple ideas right there. Let's see here. Next question is from Katie. Have you ever been on any other cruise line besides Royal Caribbean? Yes. I've been on Celebrity, Norwegian, and Disney. And that was like back in the day, like years ago. I have something in the works for a cruise line. Probably not one you would think I'd be going on. No, it's not Carnival. But that's kind of still out there a little bit. Craig, saw the article about how you can ban yourself from the casino. Can you just set a room charge limit at guest services? I think the idea, I mean, possibly, Craig. The ban, what Craig's talking about, I posted an article about this, is that there's a casino exclusion option now where you can ban yourself from the casino for a year or for your lifetime. Why would you want to do that? Well, it's because if you have a gambling problem. And I think essentially, Craig, if you have a gambling problem, a room charge, you'll find a way around it. Addicts they will find a way to make it work, right? Because that's kind of the part of the situation they have. So I think that's why that wouldn't necessarily work as well. I'm not a psychologist. I can't tell you that for a fact. That's my guess. Dennis, thank you for the super chat. Only 3 Mondays till our cruise. So much better than 150 Mondays. Heck yeah. Are garment bags still used on a cruise? Yes, absolutely. Do you mean, wait a minute, do you mean like passengers bring garment bags, or like you like the laundry bag you put in to give out for laundry? I mean, in either case, the answer is yes. I don't see that many garment bags anymore. Because I think generally speaking, like cruises aren't nearly as formal as they used to be, even when I started cruising. I just feel like there's less people who are seriously dressed up. I actually saw a gentleman wearing a full tuxedo on Utopia this past weekend, and I did a double take because I don't remember the last time I saw somebody wearing a tuxedo, especially on a 3-night cruise. Obviously not in judgment. I applauded that guy. I was like, wow, my respect for putting that much effort into it. But yeah. Let me get a drink of water here. Next question. How easy is the rental car drop off at Port Canaveral? Ugh. Now, it has been a number of years since I've done this, but it's I just remember it being a real pain. This is like, it's a small location. Is everyone is doing the same thing at the same time. I'm sure it's gotten better. It has to have gotten better. I mean, the last time I did a car rental drop off in Port Canaveral was probably like more than a decade ago with my very good friend Tim Connors. But legally, I'm not allowed to speak about that anymore. Just kidding. Actually, I know Craig's in the chat. Craig, don't you usually rent a car? What's been your experience? I mean, it can always be a little hit or miss here, but I'll let Craig answer that one. Tommy K joining us from Symphony of the Seas. Oh, there it is. Smokey Bandit says rental drop off easy. If Enterprise, extremely easy. There you go. Fantastic. All right. Mark says Edgewater is definitely not budget friendly. Stay near SeaTac Airport to save money. Coast Gateway. There you go. Thank you. That was it. Yes, that was it. Joseph from oh my God. You know, Evelyn, first of all, I mean, if I could give you a super chat, I would. That is amazing that you got that. That is exactly what. Help me, Joseph. That's my. That is exactly what I was going for. I don't think anyone's going to get it, so I was like, I'm not even going to bother explaining it right there. Oliver wants a hotel recommendation before the cruise, staying in Orlando. There's a lot of great hotels right by the airport on Cimarron Boulevard, Scmoran. It's the main street over there, like just north of the airport. You could say in the airport, the Hyatt. It's a little pricey, but you're literally right there in the airport. But there's a lot of great hotels that are nearby. You know, just pick something that's 4 stars or higher. I think you'll be okay. Tony Crawford, thank you for 4 months of being a club member. Thank you. Why is it you have to pay to get into Chops and then still pay for a lobster? The lobster's included, isn't it? Wait, I literally was there last night. I have a photo of the menu. Hang on. Maybe you're right, because I don't eat lobster. Hold on. Stand by to stand by. Photos. Hang on. Oh, it is. No, it does cost money. You are absolutely correct. I stand corrected. I don't know. I know maybe it has something to do. I don't have an answer for you. My only thought, Tony, is the same reason why lobsters are now limited in the main dining room is simply because they have they're trying to. I mean, lobsters in general are harder to get. Costs have gone up for them. Maybe I'm assuming that's the reason. I really don't know for a fact if that is the case. But that's actually kind of eye-opening because it was $21.99. I just looked at the menu. I was on Utopia. Yeah, I would bet money it was included, but I guess not. So I've never heard an explanation, Tony. It's a great question, but I've not heard an explanation, so I don't have a good answer for you, unfortunately. Yeah. Tyler Diedrich in the house. What's going on, Tyler? Good to see you. Welcome. Okay, Becky says for the Edgewater is not definitely budget. Hyatt House or Hyatt House, as she wrote it, and others are a bit further away, but still close to Seattle Center. There you go. Helcio, thank you for the super chat. Is it too risky to sail from San Diego on the same day another cruise ends at LA? I'm thinking of booking both. No, I mean, there's always the traffic issue and getting there. I mean, if you get off the ship early, I would just hustle off the ship early so you can be on your way. I mean, it's obviously doable. I wouldn't personally recommend it. It's just a little too much stress in my day, especially because then you'll be tired as heck coming off that first one. But I've never done it, but it's probably doable. You just need to hustle. That's all. Tyler says Adventure Ocean is the best thing ever on the cruise ship. Agreed. Confirmed. Absolutely. Do you think Star of the Seas will be bigger than Icon? No. In fact, Royal Caribbean has said it will not be bigger than Icon. So good question. Eli, thank you for the super chat. Oh, there it is. How hard is it to get Uber from cruise ship when stopping in Orlando? My wife and I want to get off the ship and Uber to something local, but want to make sure we can get back and forth easily. Really easy. Give yourself time, obviously. So Port Canaveral is and the surrounding area is not a major metropolitan area. So it's not like Miami, which has like a bazillion Ubers waiting around, but you'll have plenty over there. It's a tourist area. It's a big tourist area. I have taken lifts and Ubers many a time over there. And I think you'll have no problem at all. You may have to wait a little bit to get one, but not like you're not going to wait 30 minutes. It might just take you an extra couple, 5-10 minutes, whatever the case may be. But no, that's totally fine. That's a great idea, actually. I would definitely recommend that. Nismail, hey, Matt, good to see you. Once you go Star Class, how do you go back to a regular cabin? We did Star Class a few months back, experienced out of this world. Now it's hard to book lower room. I got to check if Nismail is the username for Jenna, our YouTube editor, because she just did her first Star Class room, and one of her proposed titles was that she can only ever cruise this again. No. I would say that it is. I enjoy Star Class. Obviously, I like it a lot. There's a couple of reasons why you can easily go back to other cabins that are not Star Class. Number one, the price, because when you book almost anything else, you're probably going to end up paying like a quarter or an eighth of that Star Class price. And when you look at it that way, it's a lot easier pill to swallow. But even if you're saying, well, Matt, I am insanely rich, money is no problem, then I would tell you, Nismail, number one, would you like to invest in a largely rising Royal Caribbean blog? Uh, but second of all, I would tell you that in a lot of cases, it may be simply overkill for what you need. I mean, Star Class is overkill in a lot of cases. What I mean by that is in a lot of situations, especially for like maybe short cruises, maybe cruises you've been to places you've gone a lot, or in port intensive itineraries in which you're really not on the ship that much, staying in Star Class is a waste of money in many respects because you're there for the other things happening around you. And so I feel like the money saved, the experience on board, also if you're cruising with other people who are not in Star Class, that's also a good rationale not to do so. It's certainly great, don't get me wrong, but it's actually easier to go back from it than you might think, especially when you have the money savings involved with it, quite frankly. Debbie Vodapevich, hope I said that right. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a member, a club member for 15 months. Holy smokes, thank you. 6 days till Christmas on Wonder of the Seas. First time on an Oasis class ship, hope for sun and warm temperatures. I think you'll find it. Once you get out of really the Florida area, Debbie, and you get down to like basically once you get past Cuba, and even within there, it's gonna warm up very quickly. So I think, Debbie, pack those shorts. I don't think you'll have a problem at all. I think you have a great time on there, and I love Wonder of the Seas. Great ship. Tony, we just saw you in the Mason Jar on Utopia. Great time, dude. That was an awesome cruise, and I mean, you saw the band. That's the reason I was there. I loved being there for that band, and we had such a good time on there. It was so much fun. They do such a good job. Warren, I never understand why people get upset about how someone else chooses a cruise and spend their money. Dude, to this day, the amount of anger people have always shocks me because it's just like, if I book a Star Class cabin and I spend $30,000 in the room, which I have in the past, again, it's in the name of research, blah, 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 insert your joke here. What effect does that have on you? Like, how does that impact you at all? It doesn't. And the reality is you can scream from the rafters about it. Nobody should book it, but people are still booking it, whether it's me or somebody else. I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's always amazing to me, this like sense of everybody should do it the way that I want to do it, and or everybody should go as cheaply as possible on a cruise and not spend a dime on anything. And listen, if that's how you want to cruise, full respect. I admire your gumption. You're coming away with it with a lot more money in your pocket at the end of the day, and I'm sure you're having a great time on board. You can have a great time on board that's going crazy with extras and all this other stuff. But what somebody else does has no impact on you. So I don't. Yeah, I'm with Warren on that one. Let's see here. Great question so far. Don't mean to go off on these tangents. JT, what's going on, man? Thank you for the super chat. JT, the Torres family in the house. What's up, my guy? JT, how are you, my friend? Hope you are well. Welcome. Carolyn is mom of the year. Bought my son and his girlfriend a cruise for Christmas. That is a heck of a present right there. Ronnie Bickers Jr., thank you for the super chat. 15 live chats till rain. This is the first time I got under the weather after a cruise. If this is just a deal with post-cruise sinus issues. Yeah, actually, I got this works every time. You first of all get a tissue, make sure you're not getting snot all over the place. And then you get your phone and you dial it up and you go, Josh Carruthers, can you book me another cruise? And it's amazing. When you have an MEI travel agent book your cruise, your sinuses clear up, the clouds part, the sun shines down. Tony Diaz is there to give you a ride in his minivan. Life is good again. All right, I can't promise you anything is going to happen. But honestly, sleep it off. Take a nap. That's what I like, napping after a cruise anyway. So sleep it off. I hope you feel better, my friend. Next question is from Tony LaMancha. Tony, thank you again for the super chat. Very kind of you. We had a blast. Deborah, fangirl hard. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to say hello. And yeah, what a great time we had on board. That is fantastic. Lou Rosengrant. Lou, thank you for the super chat. 62 days to Wonder. Parents are on a separate reservation. Should we do online check-in at the same time to get the same port arrival time? Yeah, I mean, I would say yes. There's really no reason not to. But listen, if you do the online check-in lieu at exactly midnight, and your parents check in, the next morning or something like that, it'll be fine. Just make sure they do it like soon, not like 2 weeks after you. But I think it'll be totally fine. And let me be perfectly honest with you, Lou. Listen, I'm not. You never heard me say this, but I'm not. So you never heard me say this, but actually, hold on. Okay, now you definitely didn't see me say this. The check-in times almost don't matter anymore. Nobody checks them anymore. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I just had to take a little break there. Kenny from down the street, now featuring more electricity than normal. How do I know I have the best MEI travel agent? And how do I test using another agent without hurting my agent's feelings? That's actually a really good question. Personally, I asked Josh Carruthers to run a mile and send me a video so I can. No, I'm just kidding. Really, this is true of any travel agent. You should ask them questions on how they operate, and also even questions that maybe you know the answers to. You're trying to gauge their not only their knowledge, because probably they know the stuff. I mean, they've been selling it. You're not their first customer, probably. That was Ben. So you've got they've got a knowledge base there. But what you really want to try to figure out is how quickly they respond, their preferred methodology. Are they texters? Are they emailers? Are they phone call people? That kind of stuff right there. And honestly, having honest conversations with other agents. I mean, if you wanted to do that, kind of like, do I have the best agent out there? Tell the other agent what you're doing. Say, listen, I love my travel agent. I'm just trying to get a sense of people's styles, because at the end of the day, a lot of times different styles mesh for different people. Like some travel agents do everything in the evening. They don't, it's not that they don't work during the day, but they kind of like batch work and then they crank it out. For some people, that works great. Other people want more hand holding. Some people want less hand holding. Some people prefer actual phone calls as opposed to texts or emails or what have you. So it's a matter of finding you the right partner, quite frankly. So, let them know, hey, I'm just trying to see what else is out there and kind of, I'm looking for more of this and that. And maybe they'll point you in the right direction. And also ask your travel agent, by the way, is it possible at all to do this instead of that? Because that's kind of how I roll. Next question is from Kevin. What is chef's choice when we are diamond? Isn't that the plate of snacks? Like it's like one is looks like a Rice Krispie treat, and one is it's all food I never eat. I swear I get it in the room every single time, and I just go, does anybody want this? Oh, Kenny from down the street. Look, I brought you these special treats. Here you go. It's an assortment of snacks that they bring you on day one. Thank you for the super chat. Are you sure it's not Carnival? It's definitely not Carnival. Irina, why are shows so loud? I feel like, Irina, I don't know how old you are. I feel the same way, but I also think maybe I'm just getting old. I think it's just, it's an age thing maybe. I don't know. But you're not alone in this one. Tyler, are you planning on going on the President's Cruise for 25? I am. It's in Port Canaveral. I really have no excuse not to go on it. So yeah. Patrick McMullen, thank you for the super chat. Can we leave bags and car at Port Miami the day before embarkation? We can then Uber to a nearby hotel and back with an overnight bag with less hassle on embarkation day. I don't agree that it would be less hassle. This sounds like more hassle. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Could you do it? I guess. Just tell them what you're doing. I mean, the problem is when you park, I don't think there's a person there. I think it's all based on, they'll charge you for it. Don't worry. So, I mean, yes, you could. I don't think it's going to, I mean, maybe it seems like more work. You're creating more work than it would be, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. There's no reason you couldn't. So I say yes, probably. Let's see here. Next question. Stelly, thank you for the super chat. I love everything you do. I have 5 Royal Caribbean cruises booked because of you and Grace from MEI Travel. Thank you. How can I get you the paper cruise planner for my Christmas cruise on Wonder? You don't have to. Stelly, you can get the digital copy. There'll be a QR code for the cruise compass around the ship, probably in your room as well, a little piece of paper. And there's a digital version, Stelly. It's much easier to do this way. So basically, every day you go to that page, it's a PDF document. So you just save it. And at the end of the cruise, when you get home, email me each of those PDFs. But you need to do it every day because it's only one day at a time and you can't go backwards once the day is gone. So, but that's way easier because if you have a paper one, unless you have access to a scanner like at your home or office, you can't. So get the digital one instead. There's gonna be a QR code, definitely on a piece of paper in your cabin. But if you don't see it, Stelly, just ask at guest services. They can help you out there. Next question. Let's see. Wow, a lot of great questions over there. Dana, giving our kids their first cruise for Christmas, gift ideas for under the tree to surprise them. Oh, actually, hold on. I got one for you. This came out during COVID. Somebody did this exact thing, Dana. Hold on. It's like a printable it's a printable like template. Yes, there it is. Copy link. I'm posting it in the chat now, but give that a try. It's basically a template, a book that looks like a ticket, and you can print out. You can type in your kids' names in there and all that, and then you have a tangible gift. Pilar, we're going to Bimini and Freeport for the first time. What are the musties on each island? I'm going to Freeport. I'm sorry, I'm going to Bimini for the first time in January. I've heard the World One resort it's very expensive, but it's basically the only thing to do there. Freeport, I would recommend a catamaran ride in both places if you can. Let's see here. Next question. Jags. I think you might be a Jaguars fan. Have you talked about the 41? It's $42 per person to go to Mexico on a cruise ship. Yes, it got delayed, as you may or may not know, for 6 months. My hope is, obviously, it's an egregious amount of money. I mean, there's port fees and taxes, and there's $42 a person port fees and taxes. I would simply say, I really hope, and already the Mexican government's already delayed it 6 months. I'm hoping this is like a negotiating tactic, and they will rethink that because there's some really interesting points brought up by the cruise industry, and they were like, "Listen, we're not going to cancel every stop, but if we cancel 10% of our stops in Mexico, doesn't sound like a lot. That would actually negate the financial benefit of the tax in the first place. So they would actually make less money with the $42 a person fee if like 10% of stops don't stop going there. So it's kind of interesting if you think about it that way. And I hope that they rethink that. OMG Squad. Hi, Matt. Love the channel. Would you ever consider sailing on Carnival? I actually talked about this in the past. I would love to actually try out their new ship, the Jubilee, but I mean like the class, Excel class. I think that'd be kind of cool, just to compare and contrast. I'd like to go on it once. I don't want to go there every time. I don't want to become a Carnival cruise blog person. I just think it'd be kind of fun to do it at least once. Brad, your jokes are why I think you're great. You love of great movies, and jokes are why we can hang out together. You see that, Tony Diaz? I'm very funny. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you, my friend. Next question. I am so far behind in the chat. How do you go about picking an itinerary? I think like a lot of people, Jamie, it's a lot of window shopping. It's a lot of like, well, let me see where this one's going. Oh, this is interesting. There's like a pull for me, Jamie. Like there is it goes to this port, or this thing will now be available there, or something like that. I especially in the Caribbean where I've been there, done that. Obviously, if there's any port I haven't been to before, I give that a higher preference. Over in Europe, I look at it as just what's of interest to me. Like I prefer cities over not cities. I guess I don't know what the opposite of a city is in a cruise port in Europe. But I like historical significance. I don't like going to very hot ports in Europe. I can do it in the Caribbean anytime. So, just try to mix it up as much as I can. That's really one of the mantras anywhere I go. Next question is from, how do you get the, sir, 5574. How do you get the size match from Royal Caribbean Celebrity? It's pretty easy. First, you need to create a Captain's Club account. You do that for free online, do that. Then you call Captain's Club, which is the Crown and Anchor equivalent for Celebrity, and you tell them what you're trying to do, and they'll copy it over for you. Are you going to do 3 Wishes podcast with Billy this year? Absolutely, yes. Thanks for the reminder, though, because I forgot, but yeah, I would love to. Absolutely, 100%. Next question is from Joe Addison. Joe, thank you for the super chat. Royal Railway is awesome. Highly recommended. Dude, I love Royal Railway. I've done it 3 times now. And I think the food is vastly underrated. The short rib, really, really good. The corn chowder is fantastic. The desserts are amazing. And listen, the show is campy. Obviously, it's purposely made a little family friendly, a little like, hey, let's get it in. But it's not, the story is not long enough to become like, oh my God, please give us a break. Like, it's good pacing. There's good time to be on your own and just do your own thing. And then you get a little bit of a break in the middle. And for the kids, it's great. And for adults, I think it's kind of cute. I think it's a nice little thing to do there. And I think the food is pretty good and something that's definitely different, which I appreciate. Kenny loves Josh from MEI Travel. Who doesn't love Josh from MEI Travel? Unless the Red Sox are playing, then I don't like Josh at all. Let's see. Let me get a drink. Oh, Wawa. Cooper, any thoughts for a Transpacific cruise to Hawaii from Sydney with Anthem? I mean, this is true of a Transpacific as it is a transatlantic. It's a great idea, just a lot of sea days. For some people, that's a problem. For other people, it may not be the case. So, yeah. Travis, can MEI help with Club Royale offer bookings? Absolutely, yes. They book mine as well. Absolutely. Yep. Will Royal Caribbean resuming cruises to Israel eventually? Eventually, yes. But things really need to cool down over there. And hopefully that will happen soon. It's obviously gone on a long time and terrible bloodshed. But I'm hopeful that we'll see cruise ships sailing from there again soon because I would love to go. Next question is from Lee Ray. Hope I got it right. Lee Ray. First cruise ever booked according to days we could go. Makes sense. Port, we get nonstop flights. The itinerary, Jewel is the option. Was a bit worried to hear your take on Jewel goals to chill and see Bahamas. Then you're good. You're good. And listen, I told you all, like I had a rant about Jewel like last week or whatever. It's not my favorite ship in the fleet. It's not bad, but also it's about how you cruise and what you're looking for and your expectations there, Lee Ray. So honestly, if your goal is to chill and see the Bahamas, that is exactly what Jewel will give you there. You're not going to be beaten over the head with amazing things to do on board, but it's going to be fun things to do on board. And it's a clean, comfortable ship and well-run, great crew members on there, fun shows and bars. You'll be fine. A lot of times my perspective, guys, is from guy who cruises a lot and tries to rank and compare and contrast as much as I can, which is not necessarily the same perspective that you all have. So that's something to always keep in mind there. But it's a very fair question. Kevin, do you find that the cruise compass loads too close to embarkation, meaning you kind of end up scrambling for things like gathering clothes, special attire nights? I mean, listen, would I prefer to have more time? Of course. I don't think so. I would say this, and maybe again, this is because I cruise so often that I kind of already have in my mind the usual assortment of stuff there. If you're brand new to cruising, you might not have obviously as much cruise attire there. And I can understand, especially if you want to be able to dress up for Red Night or you want to dress up for Caribbean Night and have the proper clothing. I get that. I would say this, Kevin. The good thing, and this is going to toot my own horn here, but if you go to royalcaribbeanblog.com and you look at our past cruise compass archive, you're going to find the ship and itinerary that you're sailing on. And I can all but guarantee that the special attire is going to be the same. You're going to have the same lineup, maybe a little different order, but the same lineup for special attire for your sailing. So you could plan ahead using that strategy. Hey, Ronnie, thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate you. I thought all suites had balconies, but now I've heard differently. Correct. Do some classes have balconies and do some classes have balconies? Yeah, there's like, as an example, Ronnie, like the The new, the one that Becky stayed in. Oh, what was the room I stayed in? It was so lovely. The oh my god, the bridge wing one on Utopia. Solarium panoramic something or other. Yeah, there's a couple. When I was on Serenade of the Seas, we stayed in a 2-bedroom panoramic suite that had no balcony as well. It was the converted old converted concierge club. So yeah, there are a few, not many, but there are a few definitely. In fact, on the Voyager and Freedom class ships, there are actually panoramic suites that they're all on deck like 12 or whatever. Yeah, they have no balconies either. So yep, you have been corrected. Correct. Andy Unwin, Andy, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. Season's greetings and felicitations. Thanks for what you do and for the drink in the casino. Well, you are very welcome, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for your very generous super chat. Thank you. JT, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a video on tipping on board like a spa, cabana attendant, especially dining, and other? I know we've done one on gratuities. I really should go through like every single thing and just say how much I tip. And people will get so warned. If you think people get angry at my video about or my stuff about how much I spent on my cabin, if I divulge what I tip, people are going to lose their because no matter what the number is, it's going to be wrong. Like it's not me flexing or anything. I think we've done one in general about. I'm 99% sure. I'm checking now, JT, because you're a valued person in here. Gratuities or tipping. Yes. Copy link. I think this is the video. Not the video. I proposed a different video. I just had an idea. You inspired me. But this is the video I just posted in the chat, JT, that talks about gratuity. It's about how do you have to tip. And I'm pretty sure I go into a lot of the details there. But I think that'd be kind of an interesting topic about how much a tip or how much I tip, whether or not it's what you should tip, different question, around the boards right there. Next question is from, oh no, Bimini's a dud. Don't say that. Carolyn, is Taste of Royal on the last day sailing for the ship to use the older food from various restaurants? I don't know if that's true. I think it may just be a coincidence and probably tied to a sea day more than anything. Is it worth doing? Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I like that quite a bit. Desiree, hello and welcome. It is good to see you. Mexico already decided to postpone indefinitely? I've not seen indefinitely. I saw 6 months mark. Is this like, I mean, granted, I was on a cruise ship for the last 3 days and, maybe I missed out on it, but that would be news to me. Leray, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing experience. You are very welcome. Next question. Paul, on CocoCay, is Hideaway Beach worth the asking price $79 per person? I would say no. I think 50 and under for Hideaway is a good rate. 79. I mean, the only reason to be worth it, Paul, is if you're going in the months of December, January, or February, and maybe the water temperature is not going to be as warm as you'd like. Hideaway Beach's pool is heated. But 79 that's a spicy meatball right there. Matt is a better singer than he is funny. Wait. Is that a compliment or an insult? If he's saying I'm not funny, then I'm a better singer. But if I'm a singer, I think I'm going to say thank you. But I reserve the right to be insulted later. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Next question. Slee Dog, did Paradise Beach give some new promo codes for day passes? They did not. They're still working on it. They're still leery of the last time. Basically, last time the promo codes got abused, similar to what Royal Caribbean dealt with. So I had a meeting with them when I was down there last time. And the great thing about meetings, by the way, at Paradise Beach is that they're held in a bathing suit. But we had a meeting down there, and we were talking about that again. And they basically were thinking maybe doing some targeted stuff, Slew Dog, where like we say, okay, we're going to offer you guys, 10% off or whatever, but it's only going to be for like 2 weeks. And if you don't use the code within 2 weeks, it's gone. that kind of thing. But I don't have any updates on you. So if you have something, if you're like Matt, I want to go to Paradise Beach, I would just book it the way it is. That's what I do, quite frankly, as well. Next question is from David Christie. David, thank you for the super chat. 130 days till we get back on Mariner to Galveston. Any suggestions for restaurants in Galveston pre-cruise? I do not have any. Chat, can you help us out? Are there any? Is there a good restaurant you would recommend? Becky Mencken and I, when we were there last time, we went to this. It wasn't bad, Becky. There was that seafood restaurant. You hate seafood, but it was great. I don't remember the name of it though. It was on the water, kind of near the cruise terminal, which is a very bad description. So I'm going to let the chat help me out here. Joe and Lisa, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I don't see a message from Joe and Lisa, but I'm going to check it out. 20 Days to Harmony. We love Mariner. Voyager, not as much. The smoke from the casino wafts up in the promenade. Hope it's better for you. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, my friend. I mean, for better or worse, I'm used to it on Mariner, as I'm sure I'll be on Voyager. It's just the nature of the Voyager class. So, yeah. Howie, if you turn diamond in the middle of the cruise, you start getting perks. No, you get them on the next sailing afterwards. Ann Whipple. Ann, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. 139 days till Harmony. Regarding the $42 charge, if booked before July, but taken after July, we're still being charged the $42. Yes. I don't think it matters when you booked it. It's not a Royal Caribbean thing. It's a Mexico thing. And Mexico definitely doesn't know or care when you booked your cruise. So, yeah, it wouldn't matter. You would still be charged for it, theoretically. The Solarium Suite. Yes, the Solarium Suite. That's what it was called. That was the room, the suite with no balcony that we were talking about earlier. Next question. Will you ever go back to podcasting Disney, please? No. A for effort. Skyfrog, thank you for the super chat. Matt, I'm now booked on 6 free cruises at 25. Do you think I'm overdoing it once a month? As somebody who cruises once a month, I would say you're not. I think it's a good cadence right there, my friend. Enjoy. Hopefully you're gambling responsibly, because the free cruises that Skyfrog is talking about are the casino comps. Just, gamble responsibly. Don't overspend. Don't go out of your means. It's better not to have a cruise and be financially viable than not. So, yeah, but you know that already, Skyfrog. Next question is from Tony Crawford. Tony, thank you for the super chat. Matt, have you ever considered Royal Caribbean Blog shirts merch? Yes, we have them, Tony. It's at royalcaribbeanblog.shop. SHOP. I'm a terrible self-promoter, like the worst out there. I wish I had like 1/15 of the self-promotion skills as Griff and Alyssa do. One of my favorite YouTubers out there. They're way better at than I am. Anyway, but it's royalcaribbeanblog.shop. If you go to that URL, you will find it there. Ray and Nancy Cruisers, thank you for the super chat. There it is. Any recommendations for dining in San Juan? Yes, the Raices, RAICES is a good one, and San Juan I just saw it. El Campello, I think is the name of the restaurant. No, that's definitely not it. That's a hostel. Hold on. I'm working on it. Restaurant No, not El Caribbeano. This one? No, that's definitely not it either. Well, RAICES, Raises. There's another one. I can't remember the name. It's like L. It starts CA something. CAM, CAN. I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time here. But Raises is a great one right there. And maybe Tony can recommend something in the chat as well. Yeah, the Mexico port fees will start at 6 months. Yeah, Becky says it's 6 months. Okay, so thank you. That's what I thought. New and old Funko Pop. Thanks for the super chat. Video idea, the most unique cabins in the fleet. Have we done that? Well, I know that Jenna will be editing this video tomorrow for our club members. So, Jenna, if we haven't done this video, we should do this video. But I think we've done this video. I won't waste more time looking for it, but I'm pretty sure we have. But it's a good idea. Thank you. Ed, thank you for the super chat. Is Alaska itinerary better out of Seattle or Vancouver? The itinerary is arguably better out of Vancouver because you'll go deeper into Alaska. The problem with Vancouver is that it's more expensive to fly into. There's less options, and you go on smaller, older ships. So it's one of those like you solve one problem, but you create two other problems potentially. I mean, that may or may not matter to you. You may not. Maybe you have easy access to flights to Vancouver, and maybe you, um, what was my other problem with Vancouver? I don't know. Or small ships may not matter to you at all. So it's just a matter of personal preference anyway. It's safe to assume the best is where the ship ports first to avoid tender. Yes, in general, I would say that's true. I wouldn't look at it, Ed, though, as like, oh, our cruise ship tenders in this port. Now we should not do this itinerary at all. It's not the end of the world, especially if you're on like a Radiance class ship. Tendering is really simple. When we were on Brilliance of the, or sorry, Serenade of the Seas in New England last year, 23, Tony and I did the tendering in Bahaba, and it was totally fine, not a problem at all. Michelle Stevenson, feel better, please. Stinks. Take some. Well, definitely take a lot of aspirin if you're not already doing that already. Heresy at the Strand is good in Galveston. There's a lot of great restaurants in the Strand. The Strand is a neighborhood in Galveston. Yeah. Michelle recommends Salsa, the best Mexican restaurant in Galveston. Highly recommend. There you go. Katie's is another good recommendation. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. That's awesome. Wish I knew you. I wish I had these recommendations when I went there last time. Next question. We only have a couple more minutes, guys. We gotta head on out of here. Listen, it is Kenny's bedtime soon. He's got to go straight to bed. He does not have time for this. So I would love to say another hour, but it's getting up there. Charles, how willing are the cabin stewards to open the connecting balconies? Assuming it's physically possible, they're very willing. There are some ships that you can't open the connecting balcony because it's physically part of the superstructure. Like some of the Voyager class ships you can't. I forget which one. I should know that Mariner and Navigator are either the two that can or the two that can't. And some of the Oasis class ones as well, the older ones are a problem. So as long as it's physically possible, they'll absolutely do it for you, 100%. Next question is from Kyle. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Had guests over, so I missed most of the live. Glad I could catch you for a moment. Natalie and I booked Allure December 25 and looking at Utopia or Wonder for September of 25, maybe Star. Well, Kyle, but why don't you book? I would just say if you want to cruise with me, Star of the Seas over Thanksgiving 25 would be a very good choice for you and your family. But right now, I have Utopia booked September 22nd. It's the President's Cruise. So I make a face because it's not exactly a regular cruise, but you could certainly book that one if you were looking at some options there, Kyle. So hope you and the family are doing well. Hope fatherhood is treating you well, and hopefully you're getting some sleep. Next question is to... all right, we'll do some, before we get going here, we'll do some quick rapid fire questions. So y'all got 2 minutes. Just please ask me a yes or no, this or that type of question. We'll answer as many as I can in the next 2 minutes. And I know there's a delay because when I say this, you guys don't see the message until like 30 seconds later. So anyway, starting in 3, 2, 1.5. Swift or you mean Dua Lipa or Taylor Swift? Probably Dua Lipa. I like her music more. Probably it's my kids that played Taylor Swift to death in my house. Pickleball on Voyager of the Seas. It exists. Yes. Do you really hate me? I don't really hate you, Craig Hart. Is Diamond Class worth it? I mean, if you can get there, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily cruise just for it, but yeah, it's some great benefits, like the drinks alone. Yeah. How long does it take for a tier credits update? About a week or so, give or take, maybe a little longer, but usually about a week. Grandeur good for a first-time cruise? No. Big or small ship? Big. Pineapple on pizza? Absolutely not. The only thing more insulting than pineapple on pizza is any pizza that comes out of Chicago. Oops. Did Royal change the Royal Railway theming yet? No. Main dining room or Windjammer? Oh boy, this is a tough one. Main dining room, but I do like the Windjammer quite a bit, so I don't think that's a slight on the Windjammer. Labadee or CocoCay? CocoCay every time. No question about it. St. Kitts or Nevis? I've never been to Nevis, so that's kind of an unfair question. So I'll simply say St. Kitts because I think the ferry ride alone is kind of a pain in the butt to get there. The Key or art auction? The Key. I'd have to say the Key. Heads or tails? Always bet on tails. Have you been on Margaritaville Sea Islander? I've not. I've not done any Margaritaville Sea cruises. We have a sister site, cruise.blog, and they have done it. But not that ship, though. They've done the other Margaritaville ships. Sail out of Panama. If it was a better itinerary, yes. But their itineraries go to the same place you can go out of Miami or Florida, sorry. So why would you go all the way to Panama? Just to see Panama City? I mean, it's nice, but yeah. Sing or joke? Sing me a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Because Ron wants to know, will the Bills make the Super Bowl? And he's not feeling all right. Because they always lose and blow it with stupid throws into the end zone. The Bills are always going to ruin your dreams. It's just the fact of life. I wish it wasn't, but every time we see it, they love to throw it away at night. Oh my God. Yanks or Mets? Yankees. Come on now. Yankees all the way. Rile up or keep the room you picked? Probably the room you picked. But I'm not saying don't do rile up. I'm just saying in general, I lean in that direction personally. All right, guys, we're running out of time here, so we gotta head on out. We're over our 1 hour mark, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. Big shout out to our super chatters today. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support, and also a big thank you to our everyone in the chat who helped with answers, who helped be friendly. We've got a great community here, and I'm very, very thankful for each and every one of you being here because you guys make it so much more enjoyable, and you're also so much helpful. By the way, I want to make it clear, I'm not rooting for the Bills. I just know that Josh Allen loves to make terrible decisions in the fourth quarter. Just, it is what it is. All right, guys. We'll be back again next Monday, still at home. But we'll be answering your questions again right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.